Earlier, who believes this is a wind-up toy false flag of some type. Normally, I would do that. But with the guest we've got, there's no need to do that because he's such an expert. Larry Nichols was the Clinton State House whistleblower and government insider. He served as political confidant and advisor, pretty much the right-hand man, to Governor Bill Clinton for more than 10 years and helped Bill Clinton get elected and reelected as governor of Arkansas. The film, The Clinton Chronicles, and others were basically made about Nichols. Mr. Nichols is unrestrained by political correctness and was specifically mentioned by Bill Clinton in his memoir. And he's been there with Clinton exposing his murders, the drug dealing, the attacking people, the raping the women. He is the Clinton expert. We're going to be having him on a lot. He's probably been on the show 20 times over the years, hadn't been on in a few years. And with the Clintons, like an old nightmare coming back, Larry Nichols is here. He wrote a book about it, predicting what Hillary would do, and it's all happening. I remember reading the book years ago. In fact, I was trying to find a copy of it around here. It's out of print. But Larry Nichols has gone through living hell, because when the Clintons went from kind of being boss hoggish corruption to being outright murderers and stuff, that's when Nichols went up against them. Because Nichols wasn't going to be part of ripping off old people and, killing people. And, you saw what happened to Vince Foster. But clearly they're trying to hype a race war. They pretty much admit that. Or a giant chaos, crisis, fiasco. So then they can federalize the police and come in and take over. I mean, it's unprecedented to have U.S. presidents and the Attorney General rubbing salt in the wounds, acting like the police, basically, are the Klan in the 60s bombing churches. I mean, even in black-run cities where half the cops are black and the whole city council's black, you think the cops are killing black people because they're racist. No, they're killing them because they've been given murder training, but vicious jiu-jitsu training, you name it, and beating people's brains out. I mean, I've been to jail for protesting and had them in the Travis County jail for no reason. Didn't smart off, nothing. Run my head in the wall, give me a little bruise, wasn't that hard. And then the jail guard's like, you want to do something? Go ahead. I have the New York police, when they arrest me for protesting, take my handcuffs off in the jail bay, 5 cops, and go, you want to do something? Go ahead and make a swing, and then sit there and start talking trash to me. And I was like, are you kidding? I said, are you really about to attack me and say I attacked you? I said, whatever. Then they had some guy come up and taunt me in the jail cell. And I'm not going to even go into that. The point is, it wasn't because most of them were white in that precinct and I was white. You got some mentally ill jerks who want power, who get in there, and instead of running them out of the departments, they're trying to put them in departments in many cities. But is that a racial issue? Maybe there's a stereotype that black people commit more crimes because of the type of crime and what's happened to those cultures. In some areas, that's true. And there's probably some racism, too. But in the final equation, having a war with the police is about bringing in chaos. So joining us is Larry Nichols. Jakari Jackson's riding shotgun. Larry, when we called him, said, you don't want to move me another day? Yeah, I want to get Larry back on next week for a full hour just on the Clintons. And we'll spend some time on him today. You can have this gone for 5 hours. And let's book him today for whenever he can do it next week. We really appreciate Larry Nichols coming on. But you can see order out of chaos. You can see that they plan to not relinquish power. You can see they've been running Obama the whole time. You can see that her chief of staff was at Bilderberg this year and nobody else, showing us where they're going. So Larry Nichols, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast.
Hey, Alex, how are you, my friend? It's an honor.
Well, it's an honor to talk to you, and I want to get you on Skype as soon as we can, because I know you've got Skype capabilities most days, Larry, but it's good to see your picture up here on TV with us and radio. Where do you want to start? I mean, you really are, you were there where they were making the biscuits. You were there when they were making the sausage. I mean, you know how Bill Clinton was made and Hillary. What is going on? I mean, everybody has a bad feeling in their gut. We know bad stuff's coming. What do you see happening?
Well, it's exactly what you and I had talked about years ago. Thankfully, thanks to you and other programs, we stopped it. You know, Bill was using, if you'll recall, Alex, Jesse Jackson Remember, Jesse Jackson was supposed to start riots in 5 major cities. And then Bill Clinton would, of course, have to declare martial law. And once they get the provisional government rule in, then they get to be king forever. We stopped it by making it public. Well, now we've got problems. They're festering it up. And no, you are so right. It's not about race, Alex. I mean, yeah, there's the underpinning of race. But, folks, all of this that's going on is about power. Power. And the Clintons absorb power like we take in sunshine. Now, the thing that's going on today, you have to be so careful, so very careful, because at any time, you know, they're going to start tit for tat. Well, you kill some black guys, somebody kills some white guys kill some more black guys. And then you end up in this total chaos. And when that happens, all bets are off. And whoever is sitting, folks, whoever is in power, when this thing collapses, they become king or queen.
Blackgenocide.org. Reverend Childress knows his eugenics history. He knows his globalist history probably better than I do. And blackgenocide.org is just a treasure trove of fighting evil. I mean, my heart, I don't want to be one of these fake liberals like Clinton going, I love black people. I'm like a black person. You know what? I'm a person. I got red blood. And it makes me sick watching black people, particularly in the clutches of the nanny state that wants to kill them. And to know that these top liberals are current Grand Dragons, like Senator Byrd and others, who's dead now. He never left the Klan, folks. And does that mean the Republicans are good? No, they're horrible. Look at them with the TPP. And they want us at each other's throats. This is cynical. It's sick. And whether they wound this guy up or whether it was staged or not, they're not letting a good crisis go to waste. They're going to rub salt in the wound. And the scripting of, and they were there and he just cold-bloodedly killed him. And it was horrible. They wouldn't normally do that because they don't want to incite stuff. They are inciting. I don't know if the police chief is that stupid or was fed this by the Justice Department. But and then Reverend Childress points out Juneteenth's coming up, and then the big NAACP meeting and all this with all these movies and TV shows out about race. And the media, when you see prepping, and see, I was saying I didn't see the media with their talking points at first, but actually the talking points came before. And then they didn't want to be seen with their talking points because it's gotten too obvious. Like when Bloomberg got caught with the emails the night before saying, get Twitter ready for a big shooting, the night before Sandy Hook. I mean, I'm ranting here. Reverend Childress, we just got 3 minutes left in this short segment. I'm going to come back with Jakari Jackson and Larry Nichols. But other points you'd like to impart, and I'd like to invite you back on tomorrow, please, sir, as we know more about this.
Well, it appears that Time Magazine, as you remember when the last time I was on your program, it was there in South Carolina where they said Black Lives Matter. Right now, South Carolina has become ground zero. Whatever happens from here certainly will determine the climate in America for a while. And I don't know what I'm praying that the people of South Carolina show unconditional love, and also being that we're all family, and that they can really quell this. I'm telling you, if they hype things up, Baltimore will seem like Disneyland from this. So it's unquestionable that we have to unquestionably pray for the peace of Charleston. This pastor, now this church is basically without leadership. When you kill the people on Wednesday night, that's your core group. Those are people that really get the church moving. They've all been taken out. And so I hope the church rallies, but they rally in love.
They have martyred this church. You know, it could be a white supremacist plot, too, and not a governmental one or Southern Poverty Law Center type op, because there are some white supremacists who do want to start a race war, like Helter Skelter and what we saw with Charlie Manson. But then he was tied into the government as well. Man, I tell you, I can feel it in my gut, like you said, Reverend, in your spirit. Something big's about to happen.
Right. I just don't know who it is, but it's obviously that it is. The young man was prepped for this, not this week, weeks ago. This is going down now. course, it's all, you know, they have to see how the people respond. It's an anticipation on how the people respond. This is where you call on God, and he can take something evil and turn it around to make something wonderful happen. And if he doesn't,
so that's the answer. Pray for peace, pray for discernment, pray the scales be lifted off people's eyes, and we use this to come together, not apart.
Yes, that's the design. Design is to separate and cause the war and cause more government intrusion, and no question, and control, to strip us of more of our freedoms. That's the plan.
All right, God bless you, sir. We're going to
figure out who's doing it. Okay, thank you for having me.
You can join us tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow's Friday.
Right.
Yes, sir.
God bless you.
Until they don't want to be king or queen anymore. And you're talking about some major league powerful people, Alex, and they want it bad. Now, talking about the Clintons, the book that you and I talked about years ago, that I told your producer what I wish you would do, Alex, is take the book, The Genie's Out of the Bottle, take the front part out because that's dated to 98 and 99. Put in something current there, Alex, and then get it out to people, sell it to people, because in the book, The Genie's Out of the Bottle, it will tell you exactly what Hillary's doing, exactly, every step of the way. And as you know, how do I know? Because I helped write the book. Dick Morris, me, Paul Vigala, the people that were known as the kitchen cabinet for the Clintons. We developed this system to get a sick, perverted, pathological liar in the Deep South in the mid-'70s, elected governor, and to keep him there. And with a hippie wife that was a full-blood card-carrying wart around her neck, member of the United States Communist Party, Hillary, it took some doing. But it works, and it works today. And I hate to say it, Alex, but the reason I'm here with you, you and I were together when you were young and I was middle-aged. Now I'm old, and I guess you're still young. But it's back again. It's back again. It's coming. It's coming like.
Well, I'm not that young, brother. I'm probably about the age you were when we first started talking 20 years ago. And we should probably briefly start at the beginning, because why you worked with them at first, but then when it got really corrupt, you said, I'm not going to be part of this. Lost everything, you name it. A lot of people got killed who were around you. They killed police, state police. I mean, they killed a lot of folks trying to shut you up, but they didn't want to kill you to turn you into a martyr.
Well, and because I had to help develop the system, I knew where the bodies were. They knew that. And then I knew a little bit about how the system worked. And so, Alex, believe it or not, you kept me alive 20 years ago. Because by staying public, they couldn't KO me. Because if they did, everybody would say, oh, okay, they did it. And it would be them. So,
and that's what Jim Garrison said. They killed hundreds of people around the Kennedy assassination. They said, why are you still alive? And he said, because I stay in the sunshine.
That's right. You stay out in the open. I remember telling, anyway, let me back up just a moment. You're right. You know, I forget there are 20-somethings, 30-somethings, 40-somethings, and even some 50-somethings, Alex, I don't even remember what the Clinton administration was about and who the players are, who they were, and who they're going to be again. I was with Bill Clinton. I was working for Mr. Jack and Whit Stevens, folks, and in Arkansas, Deep South, in that period of time, they owned everything. They were, as I learned later on in life, I learned they were the titular head of the Dixie Mafia, and I was in the Mafia and didn't even know it. And was on one of the FBI said I was only one of very few people, if any, that ever walked out of the mob when they were in it. But I was their guy. I was their fair-haired boy. Well, Mr. Witt found this guy named Bill Clinton, and he said, I'm going to make that kid governor. Go do it. I did. I went. I found out he was a pathological liar, womanizer. I mean, this guy's sick. His wife is sicker. Hillary Rodham at that time. She wouldn't even be called Clinton. And
it's now come out that she's probably had more women than Bill.
Absolutely. You remember when I said that years ago, everybody thought, my God, how can you do that? I can do it easy. because I've watched her. I mean, she's AC/DC. I mean, she'll do whatever she's got to do to get the power, whatever, and whoever. So I took on the case of the Clintons, worked with him,